Okay, let's unpack this. CERN, the internet, and a whole lot of really wild ideas floating around.
Yeah, it's quite something.
The internet, it's incredible for information, right? But then there's this flip side.
Oh, yeah. The sheer volume of misinformation, it can be overwhelming.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. It's this amazing hub of science, cutting-edge stuff.
Truly groundbreaking work.
But it's also somehow become this magnet for some of the most, well, outlandish conspiracy theories you can find online.
It really has. And that's what's so fascinating here, isn't it? That stark contrast
Yeah.
between what CERN actually is, this, beacon of scientific collaboration, and how it gets painted in some corners of the internet.
So our mission here, for you listening, is to cut through all that noise.
Right. We want to look at the real science, the actual achievements of CERN.
And tackle those wild claims head on, using the facts from the sources you sent us.
It's really about turning that confusion into clarity, separating the real breakthroughs from, well, the fiction.
And this isn't just abstract, is it? This misinformation problem, it really hits home for people.
It does.
We heard from a listener, Reddit user, a cat named Bruce. Really striking story.
What happened?
They got a job at CERN, amazing, right? And their grandmother, trying to be supportive, looked up CERN on YouTube.
Okay, makes sense.
But what she found, wow, her whole feed was apparently just jammed with these conspiracy theories.
Oh no, like what?
Things like CERN blowing up the world, or claims Elon Musk called the LHC demonic technology, just wild stuff.
And the real information gets buried.
Exactly. Barely any factual videos in sight. It's pretty disheartening, especially when you think about trying to communicate complex science.
It really is. And that experience isn't unique, unfortunately. We saw other reports like that.
From other users?
Yeah, on Reddit, people searching for CERN, even using incognito mode and just finding, quote, insane conspiracy nonsense.
Incognito mode, too. Wow.
And what's worrying is these conspiracy videos often rack up a lot of views, sometimes way more than the official CERN content.
So they're reaching a huge audience with bogus claims.
Precisely. It just shows how powerful these narratives can become, even if they're totally untrue.
And the themes, they're pretty out there.
They really are.
We're talking claims like CERN causing the Mandela effect, shifting timelines.
Right. Or opening portals.
Portals to other dimensions. Or even hellish dimensions, some say.
It sounds like something out of a movie.
Totally. Then there's creating black holes, human experiments, demonic rituals.
The list goes on. Time travel devices, black hole factories.
It's quite a collection of anxieties packed into one place.
It really is. So maybe we should tackle the big one first, the black hole fear.
Good idea. Can CERN's accelerator actually open up a cosmic black hole?
Okay, straight up.
Yeah.
The answer from the sources, from CERN itself, is a clear no.
No.
Cosmic black holes, the kind that swallows stars, they come from collapsing stars, huge ones, much bigger than our sun.
Right. Immense scale.
Yeah. And one physics professor put it bluntly, to make one like that with our tech, you'd need an accelerator as big as the whole universe.
Okay, that puts it in perspective. Hard to build.
Just a bit. So cosmic black holes are out.
But what about those other ones people talk about, the quantum or microscopic black holes? That seems to be where some confusion lies.
That's a good point. Those are theoretical possibilities, maybe created when protons collide in the LHC. If they exist, and that's a big if,
right.
They'd be absolutely tiny, microscopic, and here's the key part. They would evaporate almost instantly.
Evaporate? How?
Due to something called Hawking radiation. Basically, they just fizzle out immediately, blink, and you miss it.
So, no danger.
Zero threat to Earth. CERN actually commissioned independent safety reviews back in 2003 and 2008.
And what did they find?
Both reviews reaffirmed the safety of the LHC collisions. They looked into this very carefully.
Is there, a natural comparison? Something that shows this isn't a worry?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's happening constantly. Cosmic rays.
From space.
Yeah, particles from space slam into Earth's atmosphere all the time with much more energy than the collisions in the LHC.
Wow. Really? More energy?
Much more. So if high-energy collisions could make dangerous black holes, we would have seen it happen naturally many, many times over.
But we haven't.
Exactly. Nature's already run the experiment for us billions of times. We're safe.
Okay, that's very clear. Black hole threat debunked. Phew. But what about the other stuff, like opening portals, tearing holes in reality? That still sounds pretty sci-fi.
It does sound like science fiction.
Yeah.
And CERN's official line is very direct. Quote, Will CERN open a door to another dimension? No, flat out.
Just no.
No. And the sources also debunk things like CERN affecting the weather or causing earthquakes.
How do those even get started?
Well, the electromagnetic fields are strong, but they're contained within the magnets. They can't influence the whole planet's magnetic field or weather.
Right, and earthquakes.
Earthquakes are just natural tectonic stuff. Interestingly, CERN's instruments are so sensitive, they actually detect earthquakes, even ones far away.
Ah, so maybe people confuse detection with causation.
That could be part of it, yeah. Seeing a link where there isn't one.
Okay. And then there was that video, the one that looked like some kind of ritual.
Ah, yes. The wax ceremony or mock sacrifice.
Hmm.
That caused quite a stir.
It looked pretty creepy.
It did, but it was actually confirmed to be a prank, staged by some students on the campus.
A prank? Seriously?
Yep. It went viral, and a lot of people took it at face value. CERN's PR folks were, understandably, a bit upset.
I bet. Did anyone get in trouble?
Well, the HR report for 2016 mentions 9 reprimands for conduct that caused prejudice to the reputation of the organization. Could be related.
So definitely not an actual demonic ritual.
Definitely not. Just a very ill-advised prank.
Speaking of loaded terms, the God particle nickname for the Higgs boson. Where did that come from? It adds to the mystique, doesn't it?
It really does. It was coined by the physicist Leon Lederman for his book in 1993.
Why that name?
Funny story, actually. Apparently, he wanted to call it the goddamn particle because it was so elusive and hard to find.
Huh? Seriously?
That's the story. His publisher wouldn't allow goddamn, so it became God. But yeah, the sources say the name is generally disliked by both clerics and scientists.
Yeah, I can see why. It implies something else.
Exactly. More than just science.
Well, here's what gets me. CERN scientists are out there directly addressing these fears, debunking the myths.
Yeah, they put out official statements, FAQs.
But the conspiracies just keep going. Why do you think that is? Why does the fiction seem stickier than the facts sometimes?
That's a really important question. I think partly it's just human nature. We're drawn to sensational stories, things that evoke strong emotions like fear.
Yeah, maybe.
And complex science, let's be honest, it can be hard to grasp quickly. It's abstract.
Whereas Demon Portal is pretty direct.
Exactly. It's simple, impactful, easy to share. It taps into anxieties that might already be there, maybe a general distrust of big science or institutions. The factual explanations often just can't compete on that emotional level.
Which makes the irony almost overwhelming, because CERN is actually responsible for the very things spreading this stuff.
You mean the World Wide Web?
Yeah. Incredible. CERN invented the World Wide Web.
It is profoundly ironic, isn't it? Tim Berners-Lee, working at CERN in 1989, opened to the public in 91.
And the impact. It's described as the CERN innovation with the highest impact on our daily life.
Understatement, right?
Yeah.
Just look at the economics. One estimate put its contribution at nearly 3% of global GDP back in 2011. That's what, $1.6 trillion?
Wow.
It just shows how this fundamental, curiosity-driven research, which might seem abstract, can lead to totally unexpected, world-changing technologies, far more impactful than any conspiracy.
So beyond the web, what is CERN's main focus, its real mission?
The core mission is fundamental. Probe the fundamental structure of particles that make up everything around us.
Okay, the basic building blocks of reality.
Exactly. And it's the place for this. It hosts something like 70% of the world's particle physicists.
70%, that's huge.
It is. They're all working together on these massive questions like, what is dark matter made of? Why is there more matter than antimatter? Really deep stuff.
And they're publishing a lot.
Constantly. Around 900 original research papers every year. Just pushing the frontiers of knowledge.
But it's not just knowledge for its own sake, right? You mentioned the web. Are there other tangible spin-offs? Things that affect us directly?
Oh, absolutely. Especially in medicine.
Like what?
Well, CERN made pioneering contributions to PET scanners, for medical imaging.
Okay, yeah, I know PET scans.
Their accelerator and detector technologies are also crucial for things like hadron therapy. That's a really precise form of cancer treatment.
Targeting tumors better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Minimizing damage to healthy tissue. They help design accelerators for major treatment centers in Italy and Austria.
That's amazing.
And even calculating radiation doses more accurately for cancer patients using their simulation tools. Plus, their detector tech, Medipix, is used in diagnostics now too.
It really shows how investing in basic science can have these completely unforeseen benefits down the line.
Totally. And computing is another huge one.
We talked about the web, but beyond that.
They run the Worldwide LHC Computing Grid, the WLCG. Think of it as this giant global computer network.
How big?
Over 500,000 CPUs, 500 petabytes of data storage, spread across more than 200 centers in 35 countries.
That's mind-boggling amounts of data.
It is. CERN is one of the biggest producers and consumers of big data on the planet. They have to constantly innovate just to handle it all.
And that innovation spreads out.
It does. Their digital library system, Invenio,
Yeah.
it got spun off to provide a cloud system for the United Nations.
Wow. Well,
Plus, contributions to touchscreen tech, advanced robotics for hazardous environments. The list keeps going.
it really has like a model for countries working together, too.
It absolutely is. Founded back in '54 by 12 European nations.
And now?
Now it has 22 member states, 6 associate members, and it attracts around 16,000 scientists from more than 110 nationalities,
110 nationalities working together in one place.
peacefully collaborating on fundamental science. It has this incredible spirit of open access, collaboration, tolerance, and freedom of thought.
That's really something.
People call it a blueprint for open global collaboration. There are calls to try and replicate that model in other fields like genomics or oceanography.
And companies study how they manage it all.
Yeah, managing these huge collaborations, like for the LHC experiments with thousands of people from all over. Multinational corporations actually study how CERN makes that work, how to get diverse teams pulling towards one goal.
It's not just research, then. It's also about training people, right? Education.
Hugely important. It's a massive educational engine. They register over 2,400 PhD students.
Wow.
About 600 PhDs get completed there annually. And interestingly, about 80% of those postgrads go on to jobs in industry or finance afterwards.
So the skills are highly transferable.
Very much so. Plus, they train around 1,000 high school teachers every year. Think of the ripple effect of that.
Yeah, reaching potentially millions of students over time.
Exactly. And they engage students directly, too, with things like SULab, international master classes, Beamline for Schools competition.
And they let the public in.
They do. Over 120,000 visitors every year. They really try to be open and engage people with the science they're doing.
Okay, looking ahead, sometimes you hear criticism, right? Like, what if the LHC doesn't find any totally new particles beyond the standard model? Is it all pointless then?
That's such a common misconception, and it really misses the point. No, it's absolutely not pointless.
Why not?
Because there are still huge fundamental mysteries we don't understand. What is dark matter? What's dark energy? Why is there more matter than antimatter? Why exactly 3 generations of particles?
Right. The big questions are still there.
Exactly. And there are weird little anomalies scientists are probing, like the W boson's mass seeming slightly off, or the muon's magnetic moment. Plus, the LHC has only collected about 2% of all the data it will ever take.
Only 2%.
Yep. There's still a massive amount of discovery potential, even just learning more about the particles we already know, with much higher precision. Finding something totally unexpected is exciting, sure, but understanding the universe better is the real goal.
And what about the cost? You hear these huge numbers thrown around, like the next collider costing $100 billion. Is that feasible?
Okay, that $100 billion figure needs context. It's often presented misleadingly.
How so?
That number usually refers to the Future Circular Collider, the FCC. That's the machine potentially after the next one. And the figure includes its entire operational lifespan, like 40 to 60 years of running it, maintenance, staff, everything, not just building it.
Ah, okay, so it's not just the construction cost.
Not at all. The actual next proposed machine is likely an electron-positron collider, designed for super precise measurements. It would cost significantly less than that headline figure.
And is the investment worth it, even if it's less?
History strongly suggests yes. Investment in fundamental science always seems to bring substantial, trickle-down benefits to society.
Like the Apollo program.
Exactly like the Apollo program. The economic returns, the technological spin-offs, the skilled workforce it creates, it almost always pays back far more than the initial cost. It's an investment in innovation itself.
So stepping back, abandoning this kind of research wouldn't actually help solve other problems.
No, I really don't think so. It just means society misses out. Misses out on potentially huge advancements, on new knowledge, and critically, on the kind of international collaboration these big projects foster. The benefits, seen and unseen, are just too important.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean? I mean, it feels like the real story of CERN is just way more amazing and frankly more impactful than any conspiracy theory could ever be.
I completely agree.
It's not some doomsday machine or a portal fantasy. It's human ingenuity, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
collaboration on a massive scale. It's our curiosity about the universe made real.
A testament to what we can achieve when we work together on fundamental questions.
In a place where these incredible discoveries actually lead to real, tangible benefits for all of us, often in ways nobody predicted.
Yeah. So despite all the noise, all the misinformation swirling around, think about what CERN represents.
What do you mean?
Just its existence.
Sure.
16,000 scientists, over 110 nationalities, working together peacefully on the most fundamental questions we can ask about reality. What does that tell us about humanity?
That may be. Maybe our quest for knowledge, our ability to cooperate, is stronger than the narratives that try to divide or scare us.
Perhaps. And that leaves a question for all of us, doesn't it? As learners, how do we make sure we're digging for those deeper truths instead of just getting caught up in the loudest, most sensational stories? How do we seek clarity over confusion